Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Toni and I'm a homeschooling mom to 4 kids. I've been homeschooling for 7 years. My oldest is getting ready to go into 7th grade in the fall, which is kind of crazy, but we've been homeschooling since she was in pre-K. And it's been really fun. I've learned a lot along the way. I've also met a lot of really cool homeschool moms over the years. And so today's video is very exciting because it is a collaboration with a handful of other homeschool moms that have also been homeschooling for different amounts of years using different curriculums. We all have different perspectives. I'm so excited to hear what everybody has come up with for today's topic, which is homeschool moms must-haves. We all have a list of those things that we just have to get through our homeschool day, to get through your homeschool year, just to be productive as a mom, to stay sane, all those things. So today I'm going to be sharing with you 5 things that are my absolute top must-haves for homeschooling. So if you want to hear about mine, stay tuned to this video. And don't forget at the end of the video to check out the playlist below so that you can watch all these other moms and what their must-haves are, because I guarantee this is going to be super helpful for everybody. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to share with you is a very new to me homeschool mom must-have, but it has been kind of a revelation in my homeschool. So my first must-have as a homeschool mom is being able to have subjects that I don't have to teach. I have been teaching every single subject to every single one of my kids for always, for all the years that I've been homeschooling. I've taught all of them. And I finally discovered, I think I had this attitude in the beginning that, hey, if you're not teaching it, then you're not really homeschooling, which is dumb. It's just dumb. It's not true. There's so many homeschool moms that either use DVDs or they use different things on the internet or different websites to help supplement their homeschool so that mom can have a little bit taken off of her and it's still learning. It's amazing. So I'm a little bit of a dunderhead and I'm just getting into that this year. Sometimes it takes some time for me. I can be a little hard-headed. So this is something that I'm going to keep kind of putting little pieces into our homeschool of things that I don't have to teach. So there's things that I love to teach and I want to do as family style, or different subjects that I just want to be a part of. Math, first of all, is one of those things that I don't want to teach math if I don't have to. I don't want to teach math. I hate math. It's the worst. But I have discovered Matthew C, which has worked amazingly for our kids this year. I don't have to teach the lesson. There's this really brilliant guy that's on the DVD, and he stands up in front of the class, in front of like a class of kids, and he teaches the math lesson. It's not long. It's usually maybe 5 minutes or so. It's a pretty quick lesson. I think there've been a couple that were a little bit longer, maybe when he was teaching a bigger concept, but usually it's just a few minutes. And I don't even have to really watch the lesson with them. I just let them watch it. But there are times where if I know they're struggling, if they struggled the week before, I will sit with them and watch it. I'm still not teaching it. So this has been huge for me. I've loved Matthew C. So that's been fun. I also know some moms do teaching textbooks, and that's one of those that is completely online. I know there's another one, CTC Math. I have never used CTC Math. I haven't really used teaching textbooks either, but I know both of those are completely online. Like you don't even have to grade it or anything. I still have to grade Matthew C. And if they are struggling with a topic, I still have to help them with that topic, but at least the lesson's been taught. So there's all these different online learning tools that are just an amazing thing for homeschool moms, especially, well, whether you have one kid or a lot of kids, but especially if you have a lot of kids and having one of those subjects being taught by somebody else is just really amazing. Another really cool online tool that I have recently discovered, and this video has been coordinated by this company called LumaLearn. Now you may have seen me talk about LumaLearn in one of my other videos because I just think they're really amazing. I did a really cool giveaway with them recently, but they have, I don't know how many classes they have on their website, but there's so many online classes that you can take on LumaLearn. So you'll have to go check them out too. They're just really, really great. We tried a couple different classes last year. My daughters did, or last semester, my daughters did. One of them did a music class, which I'm not musical. I did play the drums, which might surprise you. I played the bass drum in marching band and stuff all throughout high school. Since like 5th grade, I played drums. Never like the drum set because I'm not super coordinated, so I could never quite get that down. But I played anyway, percussion. I don't know if you care that about me. I just thought that was an interesting thing to share. But besides that, I'm just not good at reading music notes or teaching music or anything like that. I could do the beat, but I couldn't like read, the notes on the scale. I don't want to have to teach that. And so that was a really cool thing to be able to have another expert, not another expert, but have an expert actually teach my kid how to do music. So that was really neat. And then my other daughter did a book club, the Hobbit book club, which she's obsessed with the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings now because of this book club. And it was really cool. So they have all kinds of stuff. They have languages, which I'm getting ready to look into the languages that they offer because that's something that I want to bring into our homeschool next year. And I'm not teaching, I can't teach language. I took Spanish in high school, but my daughter asked me yesterday, Mom, what do you know from Spanish? And it wasn't much beyond like, mi amo Toni, como te llama? That's probably not even right. Como, how do you say, what is your name? I don't remember. Anyway, obviously I shouldn't be teaching Spanish either. Whatever language we decide to learn in our homeschool, I think I'm going to try to outsource that to something like that, to like LumaLearn or some sort of company like that, that you can go on there and have somebody else teach it for you. You can log in and actually be a part of a class where it's like a live class, or they also have some that are pre-recorded and you can just watch them whenever you want to watch them. So that has just been really great. And I'm glad I finally let go and realize that I don't have to teach everything. You are homeschooling. Even if somebody else is teaching your math, you're still homeschooling. And some people, I have a friend who does, I actually have quite a few friends that do Abeka, and they do the DVDs where all of the subjects are taught on DVD. But I guarantee those moms are still doing a whole lot of helping and hand-holding, and even though they're watching the entire lesson on DVD, there's still homework, there's still seat work and all this stuff that mom has to do. So if you're in that season of life where it's just too busy for you to sit and teach, or you have too many kids or whatever, there's all these options. That is definitely one of my must-haves for mom. So that's number one. So number two is for me to stay organized. I've got to be organized. So my number two must-have is a good planner that I love. I've had planners before that were okay, but I didn't really love them. I don't know. I'm one of those people that has to like what I'm using. I have to really be excited about stuff or I'm not going to use it. And that's what happened before. So I found this. I found this on clearance at Hobby Lobby last year for like $3.28 or something crazy. And these are so expensive. But anyway, I absolutely love this because it's pretty, it makes me happy, and it's great. I love it. And it keeps me very organized. I've also used the bullet journal that I really loved when I had the time to kind of be creative. I use that right now. This is working better for me, and I use my bullet journal kind of for other stuff, for meal planning and for keeping track of everything else in life. But having a planner and making sure you have your week planned out, unless you use like a box curriculum where it's all set up for you, you really do need a planner. So find one that you love, and that's definitely a must-have for me. The must-have in my life, number three, is homeschool mom encouragement books. Just books that encourage you in your homeschooling, that show you that your struggles are normal. And I feel like they feed my soul, and I just absolutely love them. If I don't have time to sit and read books, which happens a lot, audiobooks are huge. I love audiobooks. Love, 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 love. I think they're amazing because you can be doing the dishes and still building yourself up, still like encouraging yourself by listening to something that's going to help you as a homeschool mom. I'm going to show you a couple of my favorite amazing homeschool mom books that have encouraged me over the years, in case you haven't read these, just so that you can see. The first one I'm going to say, I'll put a picture up here, is The Read Aloud Family. This book is amazing. I read it years ago and I love it, and it's just such an encouragement and a challenge because I'm not great at making sure read alouds happen, but it's a goal and I always want it to happen. It's always that thing that I'm working towards, making sure. I don't know how moms do it. Are you one of those moms that does read alouds every single night? I was just asking at co-op yesterday, and most of the moms in that room were like, oh yeah, we do read alouds every single night as a family, or, you know, every day over lunch. And it can make you feel a little bit like I'm failing, you know, I should be doing that. But then I realized, no, you know, we're all different. It's good to see what these other moms are doing and push yourself and make sure you're trying if that's something that you want in your homeschool. I don't think you have to do read alouds. I just really, really want to, but I have trouble making that a priority. So anyway, but I love the Read Aloud family. Sarah Mackenzie's amazing. She also has a podcast called the Read Aloud Revival Podcast, and it's amazing, just amazing. That's all I have to say is it's amazing. So check it out if you haven't read that or if you haven't heard her podcast. She's got some YouTube videos too. That's how I think I discovered her years ago, but she's just really awesome, and she's got like 6 kids, I think, and reads aloud to all of them. So, all right, I'm going to show you a couple other books that I've just absolutely loved. This one is Homeschool Bravely by Jamie Erickson, and this is really good. It says how to squash doubt, trust God, and teach your child with confidence. Most homeschool moms, I've heard so many talk about how good this book is. So I have seen her in person. I used to watch all her YouTube videos too when she used to do YouTube videos. So I really respect her as kind of an expert in and I'm sure she would say she's not, but an expert in the homeschooling community. But I got to hear her at Homeschool Convention 2 years ago, and I was kind of like really awkwardly nervous, and like I was meeting somebody famous. I hate it when I get like that, but I was so excited to meet her, and I kind of like fell over my words when I was talking to her. But her book is really great, so if you haven't read this one, check this out. Another one, this is by Sarah Mackenzie, who is the author of the Read Aloud Revival. This is called Teaching from Rest. You have to read this book if you haven't read this one yet. This is awesome. It's a homeschooler's guide to unshakable peace, and I have read this multiple times. It's a teeny tiny little book. I have highlighted in it. I've underlined stuff. I have shared at homeschool moms nights and things, pieces out of this. This book is amazing. So you need to get this. You have to have this book on your shelf. It just teaches you how to not get caught up in everything, to not get caught up in like all the stuff, and just rest in your homeschool. And it's hard. I keep reading it because I'm not great at doing it, but I'm trying, and I think you need this on your shelf. If you have not read that, it's amazing. There's another book. This is just a devotional. I feel like having a devotional when you can't sit, maybe you're in a busy season of life and you can't like sit and maybe read your Bible thoroughly and do an hour-long Bible study, or you might just be where you just need some encouragement and it needs to be kind of quick. I think these books are awesome. So this is one that somebody had read out of at one of our homeschool co-op like Mom's Hour things, Devotions for Homeschool Moms by Jackie Wellwood. It's 101 devotions for homeschool moms, and it's just good encouragement. I just love it. I have also used this to share out of when I've spoken at some homeschool moms nights and things like that. So this is really good. I love it. It's so good. And then this other is another devotional that I've also mentioned in one of my other videos, and this is called Rescue, 5-minute daily devotions for homeschool moms. And my sweet friend Trudy actually wrote a ton of the devotions inside of here, and she is the one that put this book together. And I actually have 2 devotionals written in here. I'm not sharing this as like a plug for me or anything. It's honestly a really good book with like a ton of devotions all throughout here. And I've picked this up and just been encouraged, and it's just really good. Find yourself a good homeschool devotional that for moms that you can just turn to when you need some encouragement, need some help, and want to feel normal. So this is a must-have. All these books are must-have. Homeschool encouragement books are just a must in a homeschool mom's life. Okay, so number 4 is a dedicated homeschool space. Now, this could be a really pretty nice homeschool room with doors that can be completely closed off from the rest of the house, or this could be your kitchen table, your dining room table, whatever. It could be the couch in the living room. It could be anywhere. I'm not saying you have to have a homeschool room, but a must-have for me. We have moved so many times. I think we've moved 7 times since we got married. Every house has been different. I've had homeschool rooms in some houses. I've not had homeschool rooms in some houses. But no matter what my space is like, it has to be inviting for me. It has to be pretty and inviting, and I have to want to spend time in there. Because you spend, what, like half your day in there sometimes. Sometimes a couple hours. Sometimes you could be in there 4 to 6 hours. This is just the way I am. It needs to be pretty for me to want to be in there. If it's not pretty. I've had spaces before. Well, the other thing is I had one in a basement, but 2 different houses, our homeschool space was in the basement. And I tried to make it pretty, but it was cold and I just hated being down there. There's not much natural light. At the one house, we ended up upstairs a lot. And I ended up just setting up a really pretty homeschool space in our living room because I didn't want to be in the basement. And that's just me. Our next house after that also had it actually had a dedicated homeschool room, but it was in the basement. It had big windows with natural light, and I did like it. There was a lot of times throughout the year that I did like being down there, and I did make it pretty. And it was nice that it was away from like the living room, and nobody could see our mess if we just were done for the day, and it was kind of a disaster. But there were times too that we ended up just at the kitchen table because I didn't want to be in the basement, and I just liked being upstairs better. So right now for us, we actually are majorly blessed that this house that we bought, one of the main reasons why when I saw this house, I was like, we have to get it, because it has a room that is dedicated to the homeschool. So I'm going to give you a little tour of our homeschool room right now, just so you can see what it looks like. But just remember, you can homeschool in whatever situation, whatever space you're given, whatever space you're blessed with, whether it's big or small. You don't have to have a dedicated space. But for me, that's a must-have. It doesn't have to be a room, but like I said, just having a space for where you can homeschool, and your kids have that. They know when we go to the homeschool room or we go to the table with our books, we're ready to do school. So for me, it's just something we need and in order to just be productive. But here's a little look at what our homeschool room looks like. Okay, so I'll give you a quick tour of our schoolroom. So we've got our double doors here that we can come in. I've got a cute little purple couch, and there's our science board right there that I put our science vocab words that we're working on. This is my little accent wall that I love so much with my lights and my cute chalkboard sign. It's just, I love being in here because it's a place we have to be in for so much time. This is a pretty cool schoolroom because it's got all these built-in bookshelves. So I've got all these books here, all those books over there. It does have this big mirror, which I guess is nice because it does, it reflects us and it reflects light, so it does make it feel bigger. I have all this storage down here for all of our extra school books and stuff. We've got this table. You've probably seen in other videos that I've had a big table in here. I've had this small table in here. I swap all the time. Right now we're using this small table, which works pretty good for 4 people, or sometimes we bring an extra chair over for 5 when the 5th person's here, but I did just bring this. This used to be in our kitchen. I brought this table in here last week. So now I have this, which is right by the pretty windows. And there's 2 cushy, comfy, like stools. So 2 kids can be working there while I'm working with a couple here or whatever. I've got a little chair there. We have the piano, which at the moment, nobody's actually taking lessons. So it's really annoying, and I kind of wish it was in the basement instead of here, but it's in here. And they do play it sometimes, but nobody's actually taking lessons. And I've put decorations on the wall and stuff, so just making it a place that you love and a place that you want to be in, since you spend so much of your day here, just makes a huge difference to me. So my number 5 homeschool mom must have is alone time, my me time. I really need that. I don't know if you guys are like me, but you spend all this time with your kids. I absolutely love my kids. I love my family. I love my husband, but I do need some time for me. And sometimes that might mean getting to go to the thrift store for an hour by myself, or even going grocery shopping by myself. Just having a little bit of just me time, not having to answer questions or talk to people, and just be me for a little bit. Sometimes that means actually going away to a homeschool convention for a few days. If I talked about this in my video last week, that if you are blessed and are able to ever go to a homeschool convention, do it, because it is refreshing. It always just feeds my soul and just recharges me to start the next homeschool year. So I'm going to one next week and I'm just so excited. And it's early in the year. So I feel like normally the one I go to is in like June, I think maybe. So the school year is done and I'm all pumped up and ready to start the new year. And then we usually don't start until like July or August usually. But this time it's in March. So I feel like it's really gonna help me. It gives me some time away from my family because it's just me with some friends that are going this year. And it's just, I don't know, just having that me time. So if you haven't watched that video yet, I'll link that below. So for my homeschool must-have, I just need some me time. Sometimes that means, for me, it means staying up late. Once my kids go to bed, I really, for my sanity and just being able to relax, I need a couple hours to myself. And even if that means like me and my husband have, you know, a date night or we have time together once the kids are in bed, I still need at least an hour, a couple hours just for myself. And a lot of times that is watching YouTube videos by myself or watching Dateline or something like that. It's just this me time that I need. I listen to audiobooks, like I talked about earlier, listening to audiobooks while I'm doing dishes, while I'm doing laundry, while I'm cleaning a closet or whatever it is that I'm doing. Listening to audiobooks is really helpful. Some of those books that I told you guys about earlier, like the Read Aloud Revival, right now I'm listening to that in my free time. I don't have a ton of free time, so when my free time happens, a lot of times it's while I'm cleaning. Figure out what your me time needs to be. Your me time might be crocheting or knitting or scrapbooking or woodworking. I need that little bit of time every once in a while. I don't have me time every single day. I don't even get like out of the house me time every week. It's every once in a while. And if I feel super burnt out, I just let my husband know I need to get out of the house today. I need an hour, you know, even let me go grocery shopping by myself or something like that. But just figure out, make sure you're taking care of yourself. Obviously, if you're putting God first, you're putting your family second, you know, you're going to be at least third. So make sure you're not like way at the bottom of the list or you're going to get burnt out and you're not going to be the most you need to be for your kids and for your husband and for just your homeschool life. So that's a huge thing, is just making sure I have me time. And don't think of it as selfish. I don't feel selfish saying that. I know that's something that I need. If I am constantly giving and constantly having everybody around me, I'm going to burn out. And I'm not going to be able to recharge. It's like your phone. If you have your phone on all the time and you never plug it in, what's going to happen? It's going to die. You're going to have to plug it in at some time. So you got to plug yourself in by whatever it is that your body needs and whatever it is that your mental state needs. Do something for you. Okay, so that was my top 5 must-haves for homeschool moms. I hope you guys found this helpful. You'll have to let me know which one resonated the most with you. Also, don't forget to check out the playlist below so that you can see what these other awesome moms had on their must-have list, because I love hearing from other moms and what works for them, because it might be something that I'm like, I never thought about that, or something you didn't realize you needed in your life, or just to see how we're different. It's kind of cool. So check out the playlist below. I'll link it in the description box. So if you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet done that, so you're notified when my next video comes out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.